Yeah, you're in. Well, we're going to do a test and tune Sunday. Probably more emphasis on testing than on tuning. But here we are, December 3rd. All right, we're back to filming. We may have had a series of interruptions that the patrons might find out about some of them, but if you want to know, you'd have to join the Patreon.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, but let's see, where were we? We're gonna run these sleds around the yard today. Kind of a test and tune, but the emphasis is more on test and less on tune. We'll probably mostly just figure out what we need to do, and then we'll do it at a later date, whatever it is.
But John, there's no snow.
Yep.
That's why we're doing it.
So we're trying to get ready for when it snows.
It is December, right?
It's December 3rd today. Which brings up a good point. Yesterday, December 2nd, me and Lonnie went to the Vintage Sled Extravaganza. It was in Somerset, and it was a great time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry there's no video. They had a lot of music playing, and I couldn't have done it. Sorry, you can't make a. YouTube gives you copyright strikes when there's music in the background, and it would have been completely impossible. So sorry there's no video on that one, but we had a great time. We met a ton of the viewers, and special shout out to Bob and his family from Knapp, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It was a real pleasure hanging out in the bar with you guys, and it was great. We had a great time. The Loud Pipes contest was funny.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was funny. We didn't enter anything. We didn't even bring any sleds. We thought we were going to be making a video when we went, but it just didn't work out.
Didn't happen.
But we had a great time there yesterday. We highly recommend you go to it next year. We didn't buy anything at the swap.
Nope.
First time ever that I think I went
so.
to a swap and didn't buy something. All right, enough about that. So we're going to run these around a bit. I think first order is to run Lonnie's Colt around a bit. And I want to see how the clutching is, so I'm probably going to hop on it.
Yep.
And hopefully we can get it up closer to the Skedaddler in performance. I think it's possible. I'm sure we won't get all the way there today, but maybe we can do a little something.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get it out of the hole better at least.
Yep.
Next, we want to run Lonnie's TXL against my actual TXL and see how that does. And then we're going to throw Dennis's TX340 in the mix because
It's here.
And we just fixed various items on it, which I guess I'll show you a few clips on the Dennis's TX right now. Cut. So we're still in preseason tune-up mode.
Tune-ups.
I'm in the middle of the XLT project. You can see there's the old Grape Ape over there. The Grape Ape needed more work than Dennis's. Dennis, you want to tell them what we did? We did a master cylinder rebuild.
Master cylinder rebuild.
We
get that fixed.
Upgraded to an Indy master cylinder because it's got a bigger reservoir, and why not?
Bled the brakes well.
If you didn't know, I mean, the Indy master cylinder, the bore size is exactly the same as the old TX's. So it actually uses the same U-cup and same O-ring for the rebuild. So there you go. Yeah, we bled the brakes.
We tightened up the exhaust.
Yeah.
Doesn't move much now. It was loose here, loose there, just everywhere.
Well, let's show them the handiwork there. So we couldn't find the right springs, so we used some late model exhaust springs and some long wire, welding wire. It's reasonably hard. And then, you want to show them the other fix, the electrical fix we did?
Did a tail light.
Yeah.
We got a starter for that.
Got to start it. Look at that.
Trail Eagle.
Trail Eagle. And he leaves with the skis up, and it smells like two-stroke right now. Wonderful. Oh, the sound of gravel on carbides. What
The smell of two-stroke.
happened to the ski there?
That might be from last winter. We'll just
That took a little whammy.
take it away.
We'll just hit it with an 8-pound hammer and it'll straighten right out. It'll be fine.
Maybe something over here too.
Something.
Doesn't quite fit inside.
Oh boy. Well, we're not done with the preseason tune-up.
Well, it runs.
It runs. We could ride it, but we've got a little bumper reshaping to do.
And it's snowing.
Sorta.
You call that snow?
I think it's sleet. It's round.
It's weird.
I think it's sleet.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, guys. We're going to keep moving through the fleet, doing what we got to do to whatever needs something done to it. Oh, yeah. What you doing there, Dennis? Oh, that looks much better. That looks way better.
I don't know
Footman
what
ski.
dent you're talking about. There's no dent in my ski.
Looks like we got a little improvement to make on the hood fitment up here, though.
Yeah, we'll take that back to the
BFH?
BMFH.
BM, what's the M?
Mother.
All right, we'll do a little blacksmith work on the bumper there. All right, Dennis's hood closes again,
That looks like new.
just like new.
What else can we hit?
Let's confine it to things that are damaged.
Start
And-
with the dogs.
No, they've been naughty today though, but no. Nope. No, looks good. It all fits. All right, so now you see what we did on Dennis's TX.
Ready for the new year.
Yeah, ready for the riding season, if it ever comes.
Yeah,
So let's get to testing, guys.
let's do it.
Little doggy. He's a little doggy.
Well, that sucked.
Yeah. So when we first built it, it definitely worked a lot better than that. I think it's partly the weather today. You know, I was just testing the XLT and it's mega boggy too. And I'm sure I've got an issue or two that I've got to uncover on that. And this one,
I don't know what that was. I mean, it had nothing. Like,
I'm going to say that your clutch engages at bog.
yep.
So let's start there with the clutch.
Okay.
We know it was at least running on all the cylinders it was supposed to.
That would be one.
Right? It was acting a lot like a triple running on two.
Right.
So let's pop the clutch off and let's blow it apart, see what springs in there,
See what's going on.
see what the condition is in there.
Bring you along for the journey.
I wouldn't be surprised to find a mouse nest.
Ooh, that could be in there.
We smelled some melting plastic.
That would be
I guess we're gonna
under the hood.
we're gonna have to repair the headlight wire in there. Great.
some people's kids.
Shit happens. The wheels certainly get that little Colt high enough up in the air.
Yeah, it does.
And it don't weigh anything either compared to a XLT.
All right.
Compared to our usual assortment.
Go in.
Oh, what do you think's gonna happen when we open that door?
Jeez. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here they come.
Oh, let the dogs out.
Lonnie.
Hey,
Lonnie
move it.
did. All right, we're opening up Lonnie's clutch. If you
All right, what am I gonna have for spring force on this?
not
Am I gonna have
much,
to
being a Colt,
hold it? Okay, I won't have to hold it down.
probably not real hard. So these old clutches, they're called the P85, just like the open face, and overall the geometry is pretty similar. The bad thing about these is they are extremely wear prone. So we don't know what we're going to find when we get in here. Sometimes the case, the cover and the movable stick.
Yeah.
So here, Lon, I'll do this part. I'll do this part because it won't surprise me. You want to hold?
Show me.
All right, take the camera. I can't show you and hold the camera.
Okay.
All right. We gotta. Now, if this was a clutch off a TX, it'd have even more bolts out on all the towers. But there'd be a spring in here, but it won't be too crazy. I don't think this thing's going to come flying off at Lonnie. I mean, it might move a little, but this is an old Craftsman pry bar. Whoopsie!
Whoa.
I guess you did come flying off at Lonnie.
Yeah, that was
All right.
rather aggressive.
So we have the standard
Rust.
rust-colored spring. Is that a trace of purple there? You got better eyes than me.
Yes, sir. That would be a trace of purple. I don't know if you can get it on film on the camera or not, but
Okay.
a little bit of purple mark right there.
We got some weights that look like they might be a modified B. I'm gonna get my cheaters so I
There
can
we
see
go. I
those
cleaned
weights.
her off. You can definitely tell that's purple.
Is it?
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna end up cleaning this thing out. The weights are B's. They actually look like a B mod with the tip cut off. Somebody's actually almost taken care of this. It's not horrible. I mean, this is not. This has been gone through. The weights are okay. Pins okay. Well, so far it seems okay. I mean, oh, there we go.
Oh, that's not good.
We
That's
got
broken right off.
We got a chowdered roller.
Yup.
Awesomeness. How about the rest of them? This one's better. This one's got no bushing. All right, so we're uncovering a bunch of the mystery. So we are going into this clutch. We got no choice.
Here we go.
We're gonna have to blow her apart, so we'll get our clutch rebuilding station set up.
There we go.
Dennis is offended that we didn't do the clutch during the build.
Yeah, why didn't you look at this weeks ago?
I don't know.
What's that?
This thing says race spec.
Ooh.
You remember what this came off of? I'll give you a clue. The motor had a big hole in the block when we were done with it.
Oh, that'd be Lonnie's.
Oh, that'd be the TX340.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to blow this one apart and see if it's in any better condition. You can do some rebuilding on these old clutches. You can't really get parts that I know of. So it's probably going to take 2 or 3 clutches to get enough parts to make one good one. So
Well, that's what we'll do then.
just use the best parts we can find.
Yep. All right.
All right, so we blew apart this race spec clutch, and so far it's looking pretty good. It's got a way better spider on it. It's got the same B weights. Let's start inspecting. First roller's good. Second roller's good. Third roller's good. The B weights, pins tight, weight moves free. Pins tight, weight moves free. Pins tight, weight moves free. So I think this is Lonnie's clutch moving forward. Also, look at how tight that bushing is. And let's compare this to the one that came off that Colt. Yeah, she's pretty chowdered. So let's try this outer on there. Oh, the outer fits real good too. So there we go. Lonnie's changing to
The race.
the race spec. Now we got to talk about springs. This was a red spring. So I'm going to go get out my book and look up what a purple was, what a red was. Height-wise, they're pretty close. We may go back to just the purple. We might go to the red. We might go to a pink. I don't know.
Let's go look at the chart.
We're going to go look at the chart and make up our mind on what spring we're going to use. All right, so I did a little look up. Obviously, Ola Van's book is copyrighted, so we're not going to show you the chart.
Yeah.
You should go buy it, though, the Ola Van clutch tuning book. So we've got the purple spring, which is a 72-138. It's pretty light. It's probably actually a good spring for a typical use of a Colt. We got the red spring that was in the race spec, and this is the spring that would be my go-to on a TX340 free air. It's a 122-35. I should say TX free air with a closed face clutch. I wouldn't use that on an open. But we got the pinky here, which is in between. We're hoping for the Goldilocks. We're going to have to go test and find out, make sure the motor doesn't over rev or anything. But pinky is 115 and 192. So it's a start.
Let's go with that.
We're going to
see what happens.
We're going to start there. And the other thing I want to mention is, before I pulled this cover off, that's the Colt
The other
cover.
one.
This race spec cover. I did do a bunch of scratching, so I know which tower goes where. I marked up the movable as well. So we'll get this thing back together.
Is that because those are balanced?
They are balanced, so you
Okay.
got to put them back together the same way. There's probably some other marks somewhere on it, but it was just a lot easier for me to just do that.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll get her back together. All right, so it felt like it was just fat rich, and today is warm and humid. It actually feels like it could rain, which leads us to fat rich. But leaning this thing down, if it's already lean, is just more risky. So the safest thing you can do is fatten it up. If it's too fat, well, it'll only get worse or stay the same. So what Lonnie's doing right here is changing the clip. We're going to lift that needle up, which means lower the clip down. And we'll see if that does anything good. You know, we'll try to go at part throttle, not full throttle. And if that helps, then we'll put a bigger main jet in it. So that's what we're doing right at this moment.
Still boggy?
It seemed to get... Oh, yeah, that's plenty good. For this thing, that's way more than it needs.
Okay.
So we're not going to rebuild the fuel pump. That's okay. So what we did find is a 360 main jet. Doesn't that sound a little excessive for a single cylinder?
Extremely excessive.
So we switched it down to a 170 main. We dropped the needle to
We also changed the pilot from a 50 to a 35.
a 50 to a 35 on the pilot. So we're going way leaner on this.
Yeah.
Lean-
Dropped the needle one.
Yeah,
So,
one from the center.
yeah.
So lean's risky, but we're risk takers
Till it blows up.
till it blows up. Then we're mad.
It's only one.
Lonnie's going to give it a go. Look at this. Starting better. this test and tune day was so-so.
It was a long day.
You know, they can see it's getting dark now.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't. It's starting to get dark. Of course, it gets dark early this time of year, so we can't be out tuning until 8. But we learned a lot. So the first thing we learned is that's not the right carb that came on Lonnie's sled. Well,
No.
yeah, we learned Lonnie's clutch was junk.
Yep.
We took care of that. The pink spring might be a little much. I don't know. We're going to leave it in until we get the carb dialed in. We backed his main jet down to the smallest size that I have. It seems like it needs to go smaller.
Yep.
So that's what's stopping us. We're going to have to buy some more main jets. What is Daisy doing?
Playing with
Crushing
beer
cans.
Can you hear that? All right. There's Daisy. All right. So anyways, we got the puppies outside right now. We've kept them in the shop while we've been running the sled. They've been in and out, but we love our dogs. And we like to give them good puppy play dates and get all 4 of them together. So anyways, back to where we were. We never raced it against the Skedaddler. We never ran the TXL against my TXL. Dennis never even fired up his sled yet.
I did too.
Oh, did you fire it?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I synced the carbs and tried putting it in an airbox.
Yeah, we'll show you the work we did on Dennis's spread out over a couple nights. But we'll just mix it in to mix things up.
There you
so,
go.
next Saturday, test and tune again.
Test and tune.
That's how you do it. You keep at it and you use up all your daylight hours until you get the darn thing right.
Yep.
And we don't have any hard decisions to make this year, like are we going to go on a trail ride or not? There's not going to be any snow by next Saturday.
There's no trail riding here.
So, anyways, huge thanks to the patrons. We really appreciate you guys.
Thanks, guys.
You guys, you're awesome. Your assistance in keeping the channel going and keeping us properly hydrated is
Yo.
very appreciated. Everybody else, the patrons, in addition to getting their names up there, they get some behind-the-scenes content. We even filmed a little bit today of that.
We might have.
Not intentionally.
Not intentional.
Blooper reel. But they get behind-the-scenes content. They get early access. They get their name up on the screen at the $5 and $10 patron levels. Everybody else, check if you're subscribed. At the show we were at yesterday, we were told by a couple people, I checked and I wasn't subscribed.
So yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know how that happens. I got one idea on how that happens now. I noticed the little subscribe button on the video is right above the button to go to full screen. If you accidentally click that instead of going to full screen, maybe that's doing it. I don't know. I've done it, but I caught it. I almost unsubscribed myself from another channel that way. And I went, whoa.
Yeah.
So maybe it has something to do with TVs. We don't even know how you subscribe when you're on a TV. So if you're watching on a TV all the time, go to your phone and subscribe there. That's the best way. Your accounts will be linked. You should be using the same email. And so that's how you subscribe to us. And if you're on a TV and you want to leave comments, you probably got to go to your phone too, unless you got a laptop or
I haven't
something.
figured it out.
But you could do it on your phone.
Yep.
So, anyways, we appreciate you guys watching. Sorry we're rambling. It's been a long, frustrating day. And believe it or not, this is my first beer of the day, and there was nothing in my coffee. I've been seriously working on tuning all day, and yeah,
Been a day.
We'll get it. We always do.
Thanks for watching.
Coors Light.
So the thing I got to do now is not tell you guys that I didn't turn it off, because that's when we get all the really good patron outtakes, is right after everybody thinks to turn the camera off,
Right.
and the smart-ass comments start unrolling.
Dennis had to sync the carbs.
Dennis had to sync the carbs.